Hello everyone and welcome to another One Piece card game. Today I am on the left playing Purple Luffy, and on the right it is my friend Justin, aka Bus Driver, playing Yellow Green Yamato. Yep, so we go ahead and do the die roll. I believe I win, and I saw this little funny thing I could do. I was like, oh cool, look at this mat. Look what I can do with this mat. Pretty funny, huh? But yeah, this I have two games here. This is actually round one in the locals that we were doing. And I just wanted to show this game off because it shows you that Purple Luffy has a very strict game plan, and if you don't stick to it, you could get severely punished. So in game 1, I will show you what happens when you don't follow the game plan, and in game 2, I will show you what happens when you do follow the game plan. But yes, this is kind of like a review of my gameplay really for this one. Like how to play Luffy, how to not play Luffy. I'll probably title the video something along those lines. But yeah, starting here, it looks like I have a good hand. I go ahead and get my first Don, and I just pass it to him. I'm just like fixing my Don really quick because they're all coming out of their sleeves. So on his turn 1, he also has nothing to do. I go ahead, go to 4 Don. I use Luffy effect to go ahead and get a life and go in. And he swings 5. And this is where I make my first misplay. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so I play a poo. We're good. We're still good right now. I'll show you guys whenever it comes up. But yeah, so I just play a poo. This is pretty standard. This is what you normally want to do with Luffy. You want to play a 4 cost 6k. He goes ahead and he goes 5 in. I don't want to take double hit yet, so I go ahead and counter for 1. It looks like he drew the Shura for turn, so he goes ahead and searches off the top 5. I cannot see his hand before, but I think he's like pretty loaded on characters that he needs, and he knows he's not going to need the Gadatsu because next turn I'm going to be at 3 and he can't pop anything after that. He would have had to play the Gadatsu this turn to actually get a pop. So he goes ahead and he takes the L-Thor, so that way he just gets more counter for later in the game. He has nothing else to do here, so he does just go ahead and pass. Let's see. Yep, he's got nothing else. So it passes, goes to me, and I go ahead and I don't, let me see. So I'm at 6 Don here, and I don't have a poly. I go ahead and do Luffy effect to see if I can get a poly off a life, and I don't. So I'm deciding on what I want to do here. So I just go 7 in, hoping that he just kind of takes these hits, so later in the game it's fine. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm not polying this turn, so it's whatever. And this is where I make my first mistake. I go ahead and I play Law here because look how many cards he has in hand. I believe he has 9. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I pull 2 cards out of his hand and he goes to 7, that basically doesn't change anything. And I actually took myself off of curve here because I did this. So instead of going to 9 Don next turn, I'm only going up to 8 Don next turn. And this doesn't matter yet, but you will see the further we go into this game, me not being at 10 Don sooner will matter. So he goes to his turn. And let's see what he decides to do here. He's got 6 Don. Yes. I also had Magellan in hand, when I could have played Magellan to take him off curve, and it would have evened it out just a little bit. So he does play the Rush Ace. He is at 2 life, so it does actually have Rush here too. He goes Yamato effect, he goes ahead and puts 2 under, and he swings 9. No, he goes ahead and swings 10 into the Apu, and I'm debating if I want to block here, and I go ahead and block. And then he goes 5 into life, and I give him a 2k, and I pass, or he passes, and now it's my turn. So now I'm at 7 Don. I'm in a tricky situation because I need to be at 8 to be able to do a lot of plays here, because right now I'm playing 1 unit and passing. Like, that's all I can do at this current moment. And I have to decide which units are good, and my hand is kind of full of garbage, I can't even lie. So I swing 9 into the ace, and like I said, I'm going to just be swinging big and playing 1 character, which is not what Luffy wants to do. Luffy wants to play 2 characters every turn as quickly as possible. So see there, I could have played a 4 cost and a 5 cost. And I end up not being able to because I am at 7 Don. And then I go ahead and I minus Don again. So now I am no longer ahead. Those 2 Don that I used to pass my opponent, I am now on curve with my opponent. So now you just got to see what he wants to do. Now it doesn't even look that bad right now, because I'm looking actually pretty good because of the fact that I have 2 units, a blocker, or I have 2 attacks and a blocker here, and he only has his attack. So even if he puts all of his down on the Yamato, I can just block it. He doesn't have any way to pop the queen, so I'm not taking this Yamato hit no matter what. So he goes 5. It looks like he's going to play another ace here. And let's see. So he has 3 Dawn left over. He's going to go, I think he's debating Yamato effect here. Yeah, he goes and uses Yamato effect, puts 2 on ace. So now ace is another 9k. And I think he's going to swing into, yep, he swings into the Apu. And I decide that I can't really hold on to this Apu anymore. He's got to go. Don't need to give him another blocker. Don't need to counter out. And then he goes 7 in, and I go ahead and Gatling here, deciding on what I want to drop. And I do drop the kid. I decide that at this point I'm not going to be able to actually play the kid on curve. And I'm going to have to save my Kaido for when I can actually pop something. So now here we are. I have the ability to play the Kaido here, which honestly could be a play, to play the Kaido and just completely clear the board. But again, I'm just behind on my Dawn. I want to be at 10 already, but I'm just not. So I go ahead and I play Kid. And I'm like, man, I just need 1 more Dawn. So let me think what I want to do here. I go ahead and rest 4. I go ulti effect -1, play page 1. And I'm going to go ahead and ramp off the Luffy. Or no, not ramp off Luffy. I get the 1 Dawn back from the Kid. Then I go 6 into his life. And I risked everything. I saved the Kaido in case he got a lucky trigger. And here I am, looking at a trigger that spells game for me if he has another rush unit. Because my current hand is a Magellan and a Kaido, so I have no counter. So all 5k swings are going through unless my blockers can save me. But the thing is, he is playing green. And green has 1 card that you can kind of see in his hand that takes care of 2 blockers at once. So he goes ahead, he taps 7, and he goes Hody, and he rests both my blockers. And now I'm just hoping that I can see some counter off of life. So let's see how he actually does this. So it looks like he's going to Amaru here. He's going for game no matter what, because I did hit him to the point to where he can't survive. And if I didn't hit him, he wouldn't have played the Satori. Or he probably wouldn't have gone for game here. He probably would have tried to clear board because he wouldn't have had the Satori, and he would have lost the Satori off of the Hody swing. And I draw a card. I draw 2 cards off the double swing, and one's a page 1. I can't tell what the other one is. I'm counting the hits, and I'm like, is there any way that if this is a 2k that I can live? And I'm just looking, and I'm like, well, he can go 9, or he can go 10, or he can go whatever he wants. So I do counter out of this because it's my only chance. If I see a 2k, my other card might be a counter. It might be. So he's debating on Yamato's effect here. That's why his Dawn is like that. But all of his Dawn is rested. So he goes 8 into my life. And I have to take it. And then he goes 9 into my life. And if I had the counter, I would have won. But it looks like I had no counter in hand. So yeah, that's game 1. I'm going to go ahead and get into game 2. Alright, and now we're back with game 2. So this game doesn't matter for tournament. He did win round 1, but we finished that game pretty quickly. I think we were done in 15 minutes, and we were like, you want to go ahead and just run another game really quick? And we're like, he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So this is game 2. Doesn't count for the records, but we do re-roll because we're pretending like it's a new game. 9 and 4 or 9 and 5, I win, so I go ahead and I go first. And this time I go into the mindset with, we're sticking to the Luffy curve no matter what. We're not going to get greedy. We're going to keep everything we can. So I go and just keep my first hand, and Justin goes ahead and lays out his 4. And I think he did not mulligan either, so we're both taking our first hands. We believe it's good enough. I have everything I need in hand to play my curve perfectly. I just keep playing with the Luffy. I think it's so funny that I can turn him over, and he's like the perfect size on the playmat. So I draw for turn. I don't have a 4 Dawn play yet, so I go ahead and I ramp with Luffy, and I end up getting a turn 1 play. No, I didn't. I actually had the page 1. Never mind, I lied. It looked like I drew Law off of life. But I have the game plan. So we go turn 1, page 1. This is Luffy 101. You go 4 costs on turn 1. Alright. We want to get 1 whole turn ahead of our opponent, plus some. So he goes 5 in. I just give him the 1k. I am taking the temptation out of my hand. I refuse to play the Law, no matter what. If I play this Law, I cry because I end up losing my curve again. So temptation gone. Just get rid of the Law. Not doing it. Alright. He did Ohm there, and he missed Holly. None in hand, none in the search. So I have 6 Dawn now. I swing 6k in with page 1. And he goes ahead and 2k's out. And now, I use Luffy effect to go to 7. This is what you want to do. Poly effect, and we're going to pop the Ohm to also gain a Dawn. And then we go 6 in again. So we're forcing another 2k or another life. And he goes ahead and he takes the life. Now, next turn I will be at 10. This is where I can actually decide if I want to Law or not. So now he rests 2, he goes Shura. Let's see what he finds off this Shura. And it looks like he finds Satori and 2 L Thors, so he's got counter in this hand. But he takes Satori. I think he just wants another unit that he can actually use and be able to utilize all of his Dawn in case he needs to survive. Because already so far, look how far ahead I already am. I'm going to 10 Dawn next turn. I can establish whatever I want. And he is still down 2 turns from me at this point with 2 life. And he has not actually made a hit yet. So deciding on what he wants to do with the remainder of his turn. He does have 4 Dawn, so he goes 2 in. And he's going to go for the Onami. He's going to try to get the Banish off here with 7k. Honestly, not a bad idea. So he goes 7 in, and I give him a 2k, 1k. There goes another Law. Again, I'm getting rid of that temptation. The card is good. Trust me, it is very good. It is just not good in this matchup. So now we just, we have 10 Dawn, so we can do whatever we want. We go 6 in, he 2ks. We go Queen. I just want to see what I can get off of this. 1 and 2, and not looking too bad. We get rid of the Poly. We're not going to need it at this point anymore. All the rest of his units should be big. So he goes 6 in, and look, now I can minus Dawn freely without worrying about losing anything. We go 6 in. I'm hoping it's not an Onami, because I would have been severely punished if it was. Then I have 4 Dawn left, and I'm thinking, do I keep the counter in hand or do I play it? And I do just go ahead and play it. I figured I'm safe behind a Queen. He can Hody, but Hodying this turn does not win him the game. It actually would end the game sooner. But I think he realizes that next turn, if he doesn't have counter, he's dead anyway. So he does go and rest. Let's see. Wait, what is he going to play? And he has 2 Hodys, which kind of sucks for counter-wise. But he does have the 0 cost event, so he can use them for counter. But yeah, this is 100% like... This is a 100% different game when you actually play Luffy on curve. Because now I'm freely at 10 Dawn. I can minus 1 to 2 Dawn every turn and not worry about losing anything. I should have stuck to the game plan in the first game and just believed in it. So he does go and he rests the 2 units that are not rested. And I don't really have any counter in hand. So whatever he swings on will die. But he uses Yamato effect. And he attaches it to Hody. And he goes 10 in... Nope, he goes 5 into life. Because nothing else he can swing on. I don't want to take the double swing. So I go ahead and counter out. I'm expecting to take 2... I was expecting to take 2 swings. One from the Nami and one from the Hody. But I think he realized even if he swung at the Nami, it wasn't game. But here we go. It's now my turn. I have 4 swings. He has 0 blockers, and he just got a bunch of cards in hand. So I go ahead. I swing 9, forcing cards out of his hand. And he's like, nah, I can't even live it if I tried. I'm not going to even try. So he goes 9. That's what he would have countered. And then I just have a game after that. There's nothing else he could have done. Even another 9k swing sinks it. So yeah, good game, Justin. I hope this teaches you guys to just always play on curve. That's the most important thing. And yeah, if you guys liked, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.